What's up, my little Make Loudians? Welcome to another episode. It's been a while since I've done one, and honestly, I wasn't even planning on doing one today. But I started fiddling around and I came upon something that I thought would be interesting to share. And it has all to do with my dirty bottom end. I was just doing some fuzz based recording and came across a couple of interesting things. So let me just quit yammering and start showing. So if we flip over to the Studio One screen, and let's flip over there. You can see that I've got a session here. Let me bring it all the way down. It's just two channels of a bass track, and all I did was record the same playing. I do a lot of doubling. I don't usually double my bass tracks, but in this case I decided to do it, and I decided to do it with an octave. So you can see that one of the channels is labeled bass and the other is bass octave, so it's just an octave higher. And I want to show you a couple of things. First of all, let's just listen to one of the channels. We'll listen to the lower channel, get it all the way back here. We'll leave the click track on here. I'm going to put my headphones on so I can listen along with you. And I just want you to hear what the effect is. So I have a reverse delay going on it, so I want you to hear how that sounds. So here we go. I thought that sounded so cool. I set it up here. I'll bring my camera over so you can see along with me. Let's go switch back over to this here, give you a better view on this screen. And here we go. Let's bring the camera over. So you can see the settings. I've got it set on reverse delay. The feedback is about halfway. The delay here, I'll let you see the time. The Joyo pedals blink, so that's about the pulse on it. And I have the volume basically just set to parity. And I have this in the effects loop. So blue is bring, red is return. Keep things simple for myself. So that's what I've got going there. The fuzz settings we'll let you see. This is on the EHX RIP speaker. So we've got the fuzz up pretty high. The rip is pretty, about 1/3. Tone is a little bit below 12 o'clock. So just going for something very bottom end. And then noise suppressor. And I put that in because one of the changes that I've recently made is that I took the active pickups that came in my bass, the Thunderbroom, and replaced them with some 920D passive pickups, PJ configuration, which is what the original configuration was, PJ. So I just took the active electronics out, never really used it. I don't think it was working. I'm not really sure if it was or it wasn't. Stuff was loose and the battery was dead and whatever. I like things simple. I like just magnets and wire, so I made that change. Also cleaned the bass for the first time in about, I won't even say how many decades. So really happy with the sound that I'm getting, and I really enjoyed that that pulsing sound that we got from the reverse delay. And now I want to show you something about octaves and doubling, but I need to set my recording software up a little differently so that I can show you the EQ screen. So hold on one second. Okay, so hopefully now you should see an EQ screen in your bottom right here. I don't have any shaping engaged on the EQ. I'm basically just using it as a spectrometer. So let me kind of show you what I mean here. So if we listen to the track, listen to it with the octave. So hopefully you can see, as I'm clicking the solo button here, I'm basically toggling between the octave high. So when you see it like it is now with the yellow here, it's soloing this track. When I go like this, it's muting this track and you're only hearing the lower frequency track. And what you may have noticed, and if you didn't, I'll do it again, is that the EQ curve that you see here in the spectrum analyzer for this EQ plugin, the frequency range that's represented is the same, but the sound is very different. So now, one more time, let's do the same thing. Go ahead and take a look at here. Let me turn off the band controls. There. I turn off the band controls. It's a little easier to see. So just pay attention to the shape of the curve as I toggle back and forth between the two. The reason that's happening, a fuzz is basically just adding a lot of harmonics. And so I'm using the same fuzz settings, I'm playing the same notes. So it's not surprising that the same fundamental frequencies are there. But what's surprising to me was that just exactly how similar those two shape curves were. So this was something that I just kind of was fiddling around and let's see what happens. And I think it came up with something really interesting. So now we're going to listen to it with both channels engaged. So we're going to turn all that off and let's listen to it from the very beginning. We'll come back to here and we'll listen to it from here. So you can hear how that's so much fuller. And I do have them slightly panned. I've got the lower frequency about 15% to the left and the higher frequency about 15% to the right to get a little bit of separation in there. But very little. It's not like what I do a lot of times when I double is I pan one hard left and one hard right to get the maximum stereo image. And that's not what I was going for here. It was really just depth and thickness to the sound. So we'll listen to it again. I'll just briefly mute each channel one time. So I think both frequency ranges benefit from the presence of the other. So that's just a little bass trick if you want to build a really thick, gnarly bottom end. You don't need a lot to do it. I use the fuzz pedal. It's on a totally clean channel. You see there's no other plugins engaged. All it is just fuzz, a little bit of reverse delay to get that pulsing or throbbing kind of effect. And then by using the octaves and just a little bit of stereo separation, came across something pretty interesting. Hope you enjoyed it. That's going to be it for today. So take care, and until the next time, keep it loud, and we'll see you soon.